Hi, Laura. This is Lisa Solituri from Crystallized Life on Etsy.com. And I decided to film this for you this evening, even though it's kind of late. Um, because tomorrow I have a super busy day. And I just wanted to make sure that you would get this in a timely manner. So I want to explain my process to you and how it works. What I do is once you give me the information about your pet and the questions you have, I go and do a meditation and kind of go through like a little ritual type thing to connect with higher self and my guides. And then I connect with your pet, Ruby. And then what I do is, as I'm receiving answers, I sense it, feel it, see it. Sometimes I'll get symbols, images, whatever it may be, based on your questions. Then I write it down as I'm going, and then usually the next day I record it. So I did do this connection with Ruby actually last night, and you have quite a few questions. So I'm going to try to do my best, even though it's kind of late at night right now, to kind of get back into the intuitive mind. So you had many questions, which is cool. I love that. So you asked me, you wanted to know who your spirit guides are, how did Ruby start her life and what was it like, you wanted some information about Ruby's life before she came into your life. And by the way, this is my dog right here. He's sitting on the chair with me. This is Jack. So he likes to help me do my readings. He may whine at times, and I do apologize. So I may have to let him out of the room or pet him. Okay, so then you want to know what does Ruby like and not like that you do, and what makes her happy and sad. Does Ruby like being picked up and cuddled, and why? Does she feel healthy? Does she like her name? And I think that was it. So you did say that Ruby was rescued. I was estimating about a year and a half ago or less, based on the age that you gave. So based on that information, now my dog jumped off my chair, so I can kind of move in a little bit. I've had a problem with my recorder lately, and my lips are not moving with the rate of the video. So if you find that to be an issue, it might be easier just to listen to this video than to rather be distracted by the way my mouth is not moving with the video. And I do apologize for that. I don't know what's going on. I believe it's our internet connection. Okay, so why not get started with the first question you have, which is, who are our spirit guides? Now this is going to be like probably the strangest part of the video, but a lot of the information I did receive and saw when I asked this question for you fits in to the other questions that you have, and hopefully I won't forget to explain that. Okay. So what I got right away was I saw a white feather when I asked this question. And usually if I see a feather, it usually indicates that somebody on the other side, a spirit or a guide, is trying to get your attention and give you a message, okay? So then I also saw, I'll get more into the white feather. I wanted to tell you what I saw first. What came to my mind was Archangel Ariel, who archangels, I'm not sure if you're familiar with them, but they are kind of like advanced guides, and they're one of the best guides to start with when you want to start communicating with those on the other side. So Archangel Ariel stepped forward to me and wanted me to let you know that she is there if you need her. And so what I did was I have an Ask an Angel Oracle deck, and so I pulled her card, and then what I'll do is I can read to you, that's Archangel Ariel here. I can read to you, what you can learn from her, what you can ask her to help you with as a guide. But let me, before I do that, and hopefully I won't forget, is let me tell you what else I did see. So then I also saw a male, like a male spirit, or somebody that would have been male, human, male, came forward as well. And he seemed older, mature, more, I would say I'm getting more of a grandfather vision that he was showing me rather than a father, but I could be wrong about that. And then I'm not always good with names because you have to kind of like hear the names. Sometimes I'm like dead on with them, and then sometimes I'm like kind of close, and sometimes not close at all. So the names I could have sworn I heard him say were Charles or Carl, something R, something like that. And then I also saw a female, another older female spirit there as your guide. And it felt like she was probably kind of a grandmother age 2. And then I also picked up on a dog spirit there who's on the other side, kind of a sandy brown, almost retriever, golden retriever look to it. And so if none of these sound familiar to you, pin them up on your like memory board and think about it for a while. And something will probably come through. There could be someone you're not thinking of automatically. I just saw them as more mature, older, okay, being there for you. And then they also gave me the numbers 1111. Okay, so like I don't know if you know anything about numerology or anything about numbers, but when you see a repeated number like 1111 or 111 or 222, 333, 444, or even 1212, like I know I go through phases where I'll see like 1111, so like 11:11 a.m. and p.m. All of a sudden I'll just happen to look at the clock and it's like 11:11, or I will go by a building and there'd be like 111, like the 4 ones. So they gave me that number for you, and this is so I looked that up for you. I also looked up what the feather could symbolize for you, and again I will go over Archangel Ariel. Okay, so now if you can't think of a golden retriever, it's like a sandy brown colored dog. It could have been a dog you grew up with. It could have been your grandma and grandpa's dog. Some sort of dog is showing himself as a guide for you, or letting you know that they are on the other side. On the other side, sorry. I said that a little fast. I do tend to talk fast. Okay, so a white feather. When I saw the white feather, what it indicates is that you are not alone, okay? And you're being asked right now to connect to spirit on a deeper level, or connect with your spiritual guides, okay? So I think that's why that 1111 also is going to indicate that to you, but that's what the white feather symbolizes. So it's a very powerful sign that your spirit's spiritual requests are being answered. So angels are communicating with you. And so this really does answer your questions about, are there any spirits or guides there for you and Ruby and your family? Well, yes, they're saying yes. Okay, so let me find the rest here I have about that. Okay, so I think I covered the white feather part. Okay, so now I want to get into the 1111, okay, and what that means. If you're seeing that number, or you now start to see it, they gave it to me to give to you. So the message here is, it does signify if loved ones have passed on, they're trying to send you a message that, yes, we are here, okay? That's a big one. Or it also could be a sign from your like archangel, which we got Archangel Ariel, or just if you believe in like a guardian angel, or your spirit guide. So 1111, that 4 ones, it definitely means that you're seeing this number, or we received this number, because there are guides there for you on the other side, helping you through life. So if you're seeing even if you saw a double 11 or a triple 11 or the quadruple ones, and you start seeing it often, whatever you're thinking at that time, when you notice it, like you happen to look at the clock and you're like, oh my God, it's 111, it's 111, then immediately think, what was I just thinking about? Because that what you were just thinking about is what you're about to experience, okay? All right. So that means, in this case, because I received the 4 ones, there's something that you're thinking about, possibly. Like a spiritual awakening would be another reason you'd see 111. You'll have to let me know if you happen to see the digits 1 consecutively or whatever, what you were thinking at that time. But what they're saying to me right now is that if you are thinking fearful or negative thoughts when you see that 111, you need to turn that around and stop. You need to stop with the negative, turn it into a positive thought, because right now, because you are receiving those numbers, they're sending you, your guides are sending you the message that you need to keep your thoughts positive, and you will attract then positive things into your life. Okay, so it's a really important time for you to not be fearful of anything going on in your personal life, anything going on in the world, but to now, like, your dreams and what you want in life could actually manifest at this time is what they're saying, but you need to be positive about it. It's also a confirmation that you are you're also being told to create a new beginning. Okay, it's a time for new beginnings. When you see those wands, it might be time for you to start a new beginning or work on a new project. That's another indicator there. But when you work on this project or you start a new beginning, you need to have a positive attitude. So they're saying your dreams can become reality right now, and what you want is about to get real. So this is like a really positive thing that they sent me to you. Also, the 4 wands, you know, it's also about having courage and strength. Like I was talking about with, they were telling me, like, you know, make sure that she's being positive even in fearful and difficult times. This is about having courage during those difficult times and having strength mentally. Okay, not necessarily physically, but mentally. So, so when you see those 4 wands, again, I want you to take note of your thoughts, like right after, okay, if you can do that. It means your thoughts and beliefs are aligned with your truth, or they need to be aligned with your truth. Or it could mean to take action on that thought you just had, okay, that whatever you were thinking about, like something negative, you maybe need to take action on that. It's just a reminder, Laura, for you to choose your thoughts wisely. I'm sorry, I cannot talk today. And don't focus on fears, okay? So that's what the 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So we went over the feathers. We went over that part, the wands. Let me make sure I got it all. So yeah, they're definitely trying to reach you at this time, and this whole confirmation. They're basically saying you're not alone right now. So just keep that in mind and try to connect. So let's go now. I know it doesn't sound like we're giving you information about Ruby, but we have a lot of that as well. I just wanted to give you asked about guides, and that's kind of like separate but yet connected. So okay, so I got Archangel Ariel. Whoops, I'm trying to balance it here. It's kind of hard to do with this light. Okay, it says the earth. So she's like literally made, this Archangel has literally made herself into like the tree. And she kind of has like the colorful wings. You can see them hiding there. So she's all about connecting with the earth. So let's read this to you. All right. Archangel Ariel. Ariel means lioness of God, a warrior and protector of God's beautiful creations and our home. Earth, from the forests, oceans, and deserts, to all the animals, stones, and nature spirits. Ariel governs the natural world and all that is wild and pure. Humans are also part of the natural world. We are intricately linked to every cell that exists, and we are completely dependent on Earth itself to survive. Ariel guides and inspires our wild self, our connection to life in every living organism, one connection to the raw and authentic self, the part of us that is pure and untouched by fear. That's our word again, fear. Approval issues, shoulds, and other ego-based issues, the pure, wild self that is truth, integrity, fearlessness, and connection to life and life cycles. Ariel inspires us to dance in the moonlight, rejoice in the sunlight, swim in the oceans, put our feet in the sand, open up to our place on this planet, and strengthen, there's that word again, our connection to life and its cycles. Stand on the ground and stand strong. So again, you're getting that message that you need to be strong and fearless at this time. So if you've been feeling confused, wiped out, wishy-washy, or you can't get out of your head or stop thinking and getting ahead of yourself, it's time to snap back down to earth. Stop thinking about what you should do and stop ignoring your present moment. So you're ignoring some sort of present moment or thought or idea that you have. So just stop and bring your awareness back to your body, back to the present. We always want to be in the present. Back to your connection to life and its cycles. to the earth, and finally back to your authentic self. So what Archangel Ariel is asking you to do right now is to be quiet until your truth emerges. Ariel is beckoning you to awaken your wild and true nature. So what I get from this card is that if you need a guide, we all do. I work with many guides, just depending on what the issue is. Ariel is definitely connected to the earth, and so what's going to connect with this now is what I want to tell you in a minute here about Ruby and what Ruby needs from you and what Ruby likes. So grounding for you, I want you to remember that grounding. Grounding is all about recharging with nature and grounding your body to the natural resonance of the earth energy, which is called the Schumann resonance. So the earth actually has its own like pulse, energy pulse. And if you ever go outside without shoes, or you just lie in the grass or touch a tree for a little while and close your eyes and take some deep breaths, you're literally like recharging. This can also be done by taking a walk out in nature where it's nice and quiet. It's just a time for you to recharge and get back to clearing your mind. And the clearing your mind is what I want you to remember me talking about right now with this card, because meditation is key for you at this time to clear negative thoughts, okay? To clear anything going on. I mean, my God, we're all going through so much right now with just everything going on. I think we're all stressed. But so you can rely on her when you're in nature and you want to connect with, I'm not sure if you meditate, but meditation is so important for us to learn to clear our minds of all the chatter, you know, the chatter that we have constantly for some of us, probably for most of us. We chatter in our brains, like we're talking, you know, all the time, like when something happens and you're kind of in your mind going, oh God, I hope that doesn't happen tomorrow when I have my interview. Or, you know, we're always constantly like talking in our heads. So meditation is a good way to slow the breathing down, which then if you slow your breathing down, you close your eyes and relax, you're literally going to slow your brain waves. And as you slow your brain waves, there's certain states you can get into where you actually can stop your mind from having all this chatter. And it literally will clear. And when it clears is when you can use your intuition and you can connect to Ariel and you can do communication with pets. It's all in that frame of mind when you're removing the thinking brain and focusing on your higher power, you know, your divine messaging, all of that coming from your chakras, your crown and your third eye and that type of stuff, okay? So I'm getting very strongly for you, meditate, okay? And now let's get into the part about Ruby, because there's parts about that connect with, amazingly enough, with this card. Okay, so let me get back to the beginning. I have all my notes here. One moment. Just want to make sure I'm in the right place here. Okay, so let me see if I can find here, because the way I got the information didn't always fall in the way I actually wrote down the question. So how did Ruby start her life and what was it like? Yeah, that's always a thing. I've rescued dogs in the past too, and I've always wondered like when they were born, you know, what their situation was, how did they end up at the rescue or the Humane Society. And I sometimes I never really got all those answers, but I never went to a psychic either at that time. So it's kind of fun to do, you know. Okay, let me find the part now about her. Oh, goodness. I'm not going to find it, right? No, I have it. Hold on one moment. Okay, so I remember now. All right, so I got that Ruby was born outdoors. I'm seeing very strongly that the cat, her mother, was one that lived, you know, outside. Could have been she could have been a runaway, or she could have just been a feral cat. I believe more or less a cat that maybe ran away, and then so I got very strongly that Ruby was born under a porch, you know, attached to a house. And it ended up being a very nice family's home. I'm seeing that the mom was the one who found it, or maybe the kid in the family found the kittens under the porch with their mother. And then they were all brought into the house for a while, and they were taken care of, and the mother was allowed to nurture her somewhat. And then eventually, after several months or a few months, when they got old enough, they decided to give the cats to a rescue, and that's when you adopted her. So I got very strongly that, most of that time she was happy, she was safe, and she was warm. Um, and then, of course, going to a rescue, I'm not sure how that worked for your situation, if somebody actually um, either adopted her, I mean, not adopted her, was a foster parent to her for a while until you adopted her. I'm not sure how that worked. So, of course, I'm getting strongly that there may have been some issues then with trust with Ruby. You may have been working through those issues, but of course it took her a while, or it should have taken her a little bit of time to kind of adjust, just because, she went from being under a porch with her mom, going into a home, and then going into a rescue situation for a while, and then to you. So it's kind of like, okay, when does this become stable, and when do I get to know my people and bond with them forever? Okay. So that was something that I found was very important to her, is that stability. And I think, again, strongly that you have proved that to her, and she realizes this is her forever home. Okay. I hope that answers your questions. And then the next question. Okay. How does she feel toward and about you, Laura? Well, the thing about pets are that they hold complete and pure unconditional love for each other and for humans and for all beings. They don't have an ego like humans and other beings, mainly humans, where we kind of put conditions on love and relationships and people. And we always have like deal breakers, like it's like, well, if this person does something to me, that's a deal breaker. I'm not going to love them anymore. I mean, I'll always love them, but not really. Animals, you could pretty much do anything to them and they will love you forever. Now, in this case, because you have saved Ruby from, going from different situations now to this beautiful home, she is showing me like forever grateful for you doing this, and she loves you and the family so very much. Okay, she can hardly even remember really what it was like before you, and I'm getting strongly from spirit that you guys are definitely soulmates. She may have already reincarnated previously from, I would say, another cat. Usually I don't think dogs reincarnate into cats or anything like that, but who knows? We don't really know. But I feel like maybe you had a cat previously, or your family did growing up, or maybe you just have a cat died on their side that's been watching over you, who has now come to you as Ruby. But she wanted to come back to you, is what I'm getting strongly. When you found her at this rescue, and this was fated, it was meant to be. Okay. So you could spend many more lives actually together, because the pet life is shorter than the human life. So depending on how long Ruby lives, and we hope that she lives like a super duper long life. But again, she will most likely reincarnate and come back to you. Her soul will want to come back and learn more lessons for you in this lifetime together. Okay, so that's what I got about that. Now let me go back to the questions again. Okay. Yes, she is very happy in the life that she has with you, and she loves her home. Yes, and yes, and yes, for sure. She's kind of giving me a big heart, and I'm just seeing it glowing with just like a green and pink, beautiful energy, which is telling me it's coming straight from her heart chakra. And then, okay, what does she like and not like that you do? Okay. All right, let me find all this. I got to make sure I cover this all here. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. I have a lot on here. Well, okay, first of all, what I got from her, let me make sure it's in serve, okay, is that Ruby loves when you talk to her in a certain way where you're expressing love. Because what she does is she's feeling the vibration from your voice, and she's also feeling the love that you're sending her. And she loves to pick up on that vibrational energy from your voice, and like she loves to hear your voice and feel that love at the same time. So like if you guys are cuddling, she loves to cuddle most of the time. I didn't get all of the time, but when she feels like getting close to you and like sleeping next to you or cuddling next to you, that's when she loves to hear your voice and feel your love. And then your touch, it's like the ultimate, so to speak, in love. She loves that. She was showing me she loves that. And what she doesn't like, we have a couple things here. She doesn't like, when being friendly, is when you leave. She was showing me like not being there. She doesn't like when you leave for most of the day, okay? She does like to be alone for some time, okay? Alone time. She likes alone time, okay? But not like all day long or like several days. She likes when she's alone, she feels like she's in charge and she's the protector of the house, which makes her feel like she has like a job, so to speak, or a sense of, what's the word I want? I'm trying to think here. A purpose, okay? So she kind of likes that, but when no one's home anyway, but she's always happy when you return, okay? Okay, there's a few more things here. Let me think really quickly. So sometimes she wants to not cuddle and she wants to be left alone. And when she gets in those kind of moods and kind of goes off on her own, she's actually doing her own meditation, so to speak, okay? So there's that word meditation again, which showed up with the Ariel card, okay? For her as well, and this came up before, like I got Ariel, which I didn't even catch a connection with meditating. So what she's doing, because cats are like super psychic and intuitive on so many levels, it's almost scary. It is scary. They do healing work for their owners. Like there's times where I've heard of cats even like absorbing negativity, but more importantly, like if someone were getting a major illness, the cats will literally like try to absorb that because they know and they feel when, like, say there's like cancer or something crazy like that, they will literally absorb that into themselves to sacrifice themselves for their family. I know it's crazy, but they do that. So that's not what's going on here. But what is going on here is when she wants her alone time, give her that time, because what she does during her meditative state is she's actually clearing out negative energy from the collective consciousness. And what I mean by that is as the planet goes through traumatic experiences like viruses and rioting and crazy chaos, there's a collective mass by all of us fear, that a fear energy that the earth feels, that people who are empathic like myself feel, pets like your cat who are very empathic are picking up. So she's picking up on this negative energy right now of the collective consciousness, okay? So when she does this alone time and she meditates, she's actually helping the planet heal by sending loving energy to the earth. So it's like, though she's a cat, she has like this other purpose on her higher spiritual side where she's actually doing something like super important, okay? So that's why I just allow her, okay, to have this time to herself. It's not like she's like, I don't like you or I don't want to be by you. It's like she has work to do, okay? The other part of that is okay, now you wanted to know, what was it? How she feels. Like, is she feeling okay? She don't have any pains or anything like that. I got that no, very strongly she doesn't have any physical pains at this time, but she is suffering from emotional pain at this time, okay? She's feeling emotional, like unhealthy feelings, and that is coming from this mass consciousness, this worry, okay? So she's dealing with some emotional energy that is, caused by the mass consciousness of stress, and she's feeling intuitively from the mass consciousness and the planet. So the stress is not caused by you necessarily, but I wanted to mention my whole philosophy about our pets who we love, and we, treat them like kids pretty much. We've evolved so much with our relationship with our pets. And so I feel, that we as humans have a soul, and our pets who are domesticated also now have a soul. They have a sense of self, and that's what that means. They're conscious of self, and that's what gives you a soul. So I feel that we do come into this life with them, with plans to learn what we're going to learn so we can evolve to a higher level, or just learn to love, whatever our personal lessons are. And I forgot what I was going to say now. Excuse me, hold on. So with that being said, they do pick up on our pain and our thoughts. Remember, we're talking about those thoughts in our head that we're chatting about. So when we're stressed, our pets are very intuitive. They pick up on that energy. And the more you are stressed and stuff like that, they feel it more and more and more. So what ends up happening is that's when they can start to have anxiety issues, behavioral issues, and even sickness it can lead to. And the same is true of ourselves. If we think negatively long enough, or we're angry all the time, or negative, any of that long enough, we do end up developing diseases or issues in our physical body and emotional body. You can end up becoming depressed. That's a sign of dealing with a lot of issues that are unresolved. Well, the same is true. So if we can balance ourselves with some self-love, some meditation, some positive thinking, connecting to our guides for help on issues that we are dealing with in life, relying on them, believing and trusting in the universe that the universe is going to give us exactly what we want and need, okay? That self-love and positivity on a consistent basis, as best as we can as humans, of course, is mirrored back to our pets, and are picking up on that. So if we can be balanced, okay, they can be balanced. And the more we do this, it's kind of like a really good thing. Everybody's happy, everybody's balanced. They know you're not upset. They feel you're happy. Everybody's content then, okay? So that's really my whole philosophy about our journey together with our pets in this lifetime. And it's learning the lessons we learn, but it's also learning about ourselves so that we are full of love and contentment and our higher self, so we can be wonderful to the world, so to speak. Okay. So that was that part. So she is dealing with some emotional feelings, and so let her do her healing sessions when she's meditating, because she's not only helping the planet, but she's also like realigning her own emotional issues and clearing that out, okay? So again, Ariel is about that same message. She's about grounding with the earth, getting into that positive frame of mind, relaxing for yourself. Not only is Ruby doing this, but you also need to be doing this as well, and connecting with your higher self. And any of these, Ariel, or any of the people who have crossed on the other side who are trying to get messages to you. This is very important for you. I love how this all kind of just flows together. And the 1111 is also all about synchronicities. And this is actually a lot of synchronicity going on in what I received. And then the part about Ariel, I thought that was very amazing. Okay, so, but there's a little bit more for you yet about this. So when Ruby, okay, so I'm getting really strongly, so like with Ariel, we're talking about relaxing and meditation for you, okay? And I'm also getting for you that there's a telepathy, like a psychic connection between you and Ruby, that at least on Ruby's end, she's picking up on your thoughts, okay, and communication and your love, okay, from your heart, from the way you talk to her, by the way you cuddle with her and touch her, okay? So the relaxation, let me think about this for a minute here. So it's kind of like taking a load off, and not just on your feet, but your mind, okay? So the body, like I was saying, the body heals itself the best in a state of deep relaxation, okay? So just don't wait until your energy is low or your pet is sick, like I was saying, before you take the time to slow down and relax, okay? So maybe this is kind of like a preventative, okay? So I I'm getting very strongly from Spirit that it's indicating that your communication with your pet, along with you and your pet's health, will benefit greatly from cultivating a more like relaxed internal and external living space. And I'm saying that because I think there is a lot of stress, that we're all holding a lot of stress. So I can't even emphasize enough how important relaxing and meditating is. So meditating together with Ruby even, okay, give her space to meditate, but those times where she's laying on you, consider it a time for the both of you to meditate, like literally together, okay? Because this will slow down those brain waves for both of you when you're breathing. Take deep breaths when you're touching her. Let her feel that. Maybe she'll be laying on your chest. She'll feel those deep breaths, and then like exhale as you're releasing all those thoughts and stresses in your life and just letting that go. So I can see you guys doing that together. And then the breathing, the heart rate, she's going to feel your heart rate relax. She's going to pick up on that. So you're going to literally relax your minds and your bodies. So when you're meditating together, and if you can do this on a regular basis, and there are guided meditations on YouTube, if you need help with that, I can help you, because I know even for myself, it's hard for me to just shut my mind off. Some people are good at it, but it does take practice. So if you do a guided meditation, it kind of help you think of things besides your thoughts, okay? So you can do that together, or you can just sit with her quietly. Do this a lot, though. Do it like, a few, like 3, 4, 5 times a week if you can. It's going to help you and her relieve the pain and stress. And I'm talking about emotional pain right now, okay? It will also boost your immune system, which we know is a good thing at this point in time. And it'll like literally promote healing on every level for both of you. And we know because she's dealing with these emotional feelings right now of emotional pain, it's important for you to also help her. So just become aware of your space and share it with her until your attention is no longer on those thoughts, okay? Which goes back even to the guides with the 111. Having positive thoughts is super important for you, and they want you to know this at this time. This is a message. And so like if you guys do this together, your whole home, your whole life, you're going to have a healthier environment together. And your pet, Ruby is going to be so happy with you and filling in those gaps between your thoughts all the time, okay? So it's like she's gonna be happy that you're not dwelling in those chatter thoughts all the time, okay, is what I'm getting. Then Spirit's also pretty much telling me that she has like a telepathy going very strongly with you. So be careful what you are thinking, Laura. Okay. So again, she's like saying to me, she's saying to you, meet me in the space between your thoughts, because I'm there waiting. So as you're like worrying and thinking about all this stuff in life, she's like waiting for you to meet her there in those thoughts, because she'll be able to hear you and sense it. Okay. That's how like animals transmit ideas, and there's a lot of humans that actually can do it too. We all have that gift, but we just are so conditioned to keep our brain waves in that kind of work, worry kind of thought process that we miss it a lot. But if you purposely control your breathing, a lot of deep breathing and release, and then slow yourself down, you won't have all those chattery thoughts. And in between that space where you have silence and peace and nothingness, as they call it, literally nothingness in your mind, that's where you're going to hear those messages from Ruby. Yes, that's how it works. Let me know if you do any intuitive communication, because we all can learn it. Okay, I just want you to understand that. If it's something that is important to you, I can help you with that. I have a Facebook group called Pet Communication Journey. Not sure if you remember. There are some videos that I made in there when I first started doing pet communication. It was like Basics 101 pet communication. But I am going to redo those videos and make them a little bit more clear for people to get the basics on how to start communicating with their pets through intuition and telepathy. All right. So I just want you to know that you are right now is a perfect time for you to be more open than ever to expand your consciousness, to give and receive these messages, okay, in the same way that Ruby is receiving them. But this is like a super remarkable connection that we can have with our pets. And the more you try to do it, like but through meditation, that's always the key. It's going to become easier and easier. You're gonna like really increase your ability to use telepathic energy and thoughts to communicate with Ruby. So you're going to realize when you're meditating and you're actually calming those thoughts, you're going to start realizing that you're going to feel more peaceful and you're going to feel more happier, because this is the key to our inner peace, okay, and our inner strength. So I'm getting strongly from Spirit that you need to slow down and tune into what Ruby wants to show you at this time. So again, I'll say one last time, spend more time meditating. You can ask specific questions before you start meditating that you maybe want to receive from Ruby, okay? And sometimes they come through as thoughts. They'll come through as like visual flashes. Like you'll see, like I said, I saw the feather. I saw the 1111. Or sometimes they're feelings. Like all of a sudden you'll be meditating and you'll have your question ready and you'll say, my intention for this meditation is to connect with my higher self and to connect with Ruby for the highest and greatest good of our relationship together. Okay, and then as you start doing your breathing and you relax and you clear those thoughts, you might be overcome as you're thinking of Ruby and love. You might suddenly get like chills, like tingly chills all over. And you'll realize that is her sending you love, or you might just suddenly feel like you might have a happy memory of her, or something might flash in your mind like that, and you'll feel it. So you can always feel things too telepathically, and that's super important. And I'm telling you right now, your guides are coming through because they want to work with you. So you realize that you are protected and that you are loved, so that you can start working on that inner peace that's going to help you and Ruby. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing really strongly. So let's see. Let me think if there's anything else that I want for you. And then also, I was going to say, then also when you're meditating and you are learning to communicate with her, also send her love as you're meditating. Your eyes are closed. You can envision a glow, a loving glow, that feeling you get when you think of a loved one. It could be Ruby. It could be somebody else. It could be your husband, your boyfriend, whoever. When you think of them, and it just gives you this love feeling. Just envision that when you're meditating as like a glowing green, because the heart chakra is usually green, like say an apple green, glowing, beautiful light just radiating right out of your heart, okay? And then envision sending that ball of light right to Ruby as you're meditating, and send it to her and think of how much you love her, and just do that, okay? And that's a form of communication. And it will instantly like change her energy. It'll help her body. It can heal anything, emotional issues. So I think it's important to help her with that. And just allow your gut, your intuition to guide you on this. But always set an intention ahead of time when you're meditating, because it helps then to lead your higher self and your energy to what you want to achieve in that meditation. Okay, so that's all I wanted to say about that. All right, let me go back here. God, I wish I would have grabbed a cup of water. I am so thirsty. All right, let's see, back to your questions. Does she like being picked up? I answered that for you. Yes, but she likes to be cuddled, but sometimes she likes her alone time. Does she feel healthy? That, any pains, that was the emotional issues I was talking about. Does she like her name? Yes. Okay, the way this works with animals is they again, there's that unconditional love that I was talking about to you. They don't really like judge things like that, like, oh, I don't like that name. There isn't that, okay, because the name came from you, and their focus and their love is on you, and anything you want to call them, they're going to be happy with. Honestly, they are going to be happy with that, because that's how they now know when you're talking to them or when you want to be with them. So there's no preference there. She loves her name from what I'm understanding. It's a beautiful name. And Ruby is really all about red and crystal light energy dealing with red. And of course that makes me think of the heart because of love. Um, and that's very important. And it also makes me think of the root chakra, which is also represented by red. And that's kind of like the base, our home, our foundation, all of that, our needs. So I think that's just a beautiful name, and she likes it. I wasn't getting anything where she didn't. Of course, she loves it. You gave it to her. Why would she not? Um, yeah, they don't judge things like that at all. They're not like that. They're so pure. Their souls are so pure. The animal soul is, it's never like, I mean, that's what I was trying to say. With unconditional love, they would never blame you for anything. They don't have that capacity. In a way, they're very lucky because they're sheltered from understanding a lot of the human way of being. They just can't be damaged in that way. They're just so pure, and that's what I think we learn from them, is learning to be more pure and beautiful and wonderful and loving to each other. Okay. I think that was it as far as questions. Yes, she's very happy with her life with you. She wouldn't be able to see that any other way. I think that was it, but let me just make sure I didn't miss anything here. Oh, she did show me, because when I start connecting with a pet initially, through my meditation, after I'm done meditating, I always like to ask them, like, what's their, to kind of warm them up, I always ask them, like, what's their favorite toy, or what do they like to play. And one thing that she showed me was a toy, like, on stick. Those, like, I don't know, they have, like, feathers, and they kind of hang down from a big stick. And she was kind of showing you, like, twirling it around her, and her kind of, like, almost spinning and trying to get it, because she loves to bat it. Now, I'm not sure if this is something she ever had in her past, but it's something that she would like to do. That's just the only thing that came through. Nothing major there, but I thought I'd mention it. And let me check one more time. We talked about her being born under the porch. And we talked about the guides. And I think that is it, Laura. If you could do me a favor and let me know how this all resonated with you, if it answered your questions, if there was anything like, wow, that was cool, I can't believe you came up with that and it's true, or anything, negative too, that's fine. Let me know. And I would also ask if you wouldn't mind giving me a review on Etsy. Just because it helps other people understand what I do and what I offer. It also helps me to understand what I'm offering. Oh, wait, I forgot one more thing. It's coming to me. She was saying there's something about her litter box. You asked me what she likes and what she doesn't like in the home. There's something about her litter box that she doesn't like lately. I don't know if you've changed something, or it's with a litter brand, or the smell, or the texture, or it's not, the box isn't getting cleaned as much as it should be. I'm not sure, but something that she's saying she doesn't like lately about her litter box that came up, swear to God. That was the last thing. And then, like I was saying, if you could rate me, if you want to visit my group, Pet Communication Journey on Facebook, we'd be happy to have you there. I do mini intuitive sessions. I also do yes and no pendulum questions for people, or I draw oracle cards. All kinds of fun stuff for you and your pet, or even for you personally. Come and join us there. That'd be awesome. Again, thank you so much for allowing me to do this video for you. I love the work I do. And if you have any more questions, feel free to ask. Thank you so much.